Welcome to your Technology Questions Answered. I'm your host, Steve Smith, aka Z-Axis, and yes, you may call me that. We are March 13th, 2011, and today we actually advanced the time 1 hour. Today, we'll be talking about something that's in virtually every home office, school, and business place, something that causes great suffering and pain, pride and joy, something that's always in the know, the sidekick to your computer, the Robin to the Batman, your printer. So folks, today we're going to be talking about things you may not necessarily be able to diagnose yourself. Problems with ink messes and paper jamming and whatever, those are things that are usually obvious. So we're going to deal with the phantom menaces of your printer. Why does your printer not work? And we're going to show you how to check them. And folks, just so we all know and understand, a lot of these problems may be caused by a Code 18 flaw. For those who don't know what that is, it's the user. Under no circumstance, if you start a print job accidentally, do you really want to turn off your printer mid-job? Do you want to unplug it from the wall? That you want to disconnect the router if it's wired or wireless? That you want to cancel or pause a job without suppressing the whole print spool in your Windows? Making sure that there is nothing left behind that can jam the next job. Because it's that action later on that may very well prove to be your pain and suffering to your printer. So today, I'm going to show you on two printers how to check on it. One that's an all-in-one, and another one that's just a printer. Of course, I'm going to be recording from my iPhone, so don't worry about the sound quality of that. Then I'm going to be showing you in Windows what to look out for. That way, next time you come to print, and something bad happens, you'll know exactly what to do. And even though I can't show you the paper because the camera can't read the text, available in the show notes, www.zedaxis.net, available in the show notes on that website, will be a diagnosis of printer problem. If you want to go along with me, you can download it there. You can even watch the YouTube video on the same page and go through each step one by one. So folks, let's start by diagnosing the hardware itself.
Folks, the first thing you'd have to do is turn on the power and make sure it is in fact on. If it wasn't on, let's say this is not working, check the cable in the back, make sure it's plugged in, make sure it's plugged into your power bar, of all things. Also, on the classic ones, the button will be on the top, but if you have one of the newer multifunctions, it will be with the rest of the screen. Second of all, you need to confirm that the network, wired or wireless, is in fact working. So in this case, there would be a wireless light that would be on, printer is still off because I need to show you something after. Here, you see, wireless icon is online, meaning the radio is online. If you had an RJ45 cable instead of USB, the light would be on too. Now, we also need to make sure that there is paper inside the printer. Here the tray is full. Make sure it's not crumpled. You need to make sure that there is no obstruction or foreign object. Just open the hood and look inside. When there's nothing there, usually means there's no paper jam. Same thing with these classic types. Just open up the hood and look in. There's no paper, probably means there's no paper jam. Now that we have confirmed that the paper is not the problem, you need to make sure that the cables and connections all work. Which requires we turn this on. Hold on a second. So all the plugs are plugged in at both ends. This is wireless, there's no other plug besides the power to worry about, but if you're using USB, make sure it's either plugged into your computer or into your router correctly. Both ends, verify that because, like I said, computers use cables that disconnect at both ends. Now, you need to check the hardware status. So, we've confirmed that the router does indicate that the connections are made possible. All you need to do, inside one like this, go into the settings, at least for the MP560, device settings, hold on, LAN settings, Make sure the WLAN is active. Confirm that it is also the right SSID name. If you have the wrong SSID name here and your computer is not on the same network as the router, in this case wireless, it wouldn't work. Now if you're connected wiredly, so in other words, by RJ45, you would have an IP address instead. If you're connected by USB, you don't have to check this, you just have to confirm in the computer, which I'll show you after.
We're going to be using Windows XP today, but since Windows Vista and Windows 7 are virtually the same, you won't have any trouble following me. All you have to do is make sure that you follow explicitly what I tell you. You select the Start button, go under Printer and Faxes, verify that your printer is in fact the default. You can right-click and set as default. Make sure it says it's ready. Make sure it has nothing in the print spool. You can double-click to verify, go under the Print tab, and actually check to make sure that pause printing is not active, and you can cancel all documents in this same menu. Now, if you want to be extremely sure, you can go under the control panel. I use the classic version. All you have to do is head to the System section, go under the Hardware tab, select Device Manager. Most people don't use LPT, but it's virtually the same. You go either LPT depending on which kind of printer you have, or you go under Universal Serial Bus Controllers for the other types. Make sure that the printing support or the name of the printer is in fact there. Make sure there's no icon issues, so it would be like a question mark, an X, or an exclamation mark. Right click the button, hit Properties. You can use the Troubleshoot button if the device is not working properly. In this case it is. My next suggestion, go to the driver. Go update driver with a new one from the website, just do a bug fix. Roll back the driver if you try to do a bug fix and it didn't work. The new one and the old one worked, or uninstall. This is the uninstall option. Use this if you want to do a clean install. Now, of course, if you're going to do a clean install, you're going to have to go under the add or remove programs. Go up to your section here with all the printer stuff, and you'll have to suppress everything. So remove all this so that you can do a clean install. Now, in order to achieve a clean install after suppressing all the drivers and software, you will have to restart your computer. Now, if you have anything like me and you use specific software, verify inside your manual. In my case, I have a D-Link. Make sure that the USB device, so for your virtual USB plug for your network, is in fact set to the right type. Mine, I have two types. One's called SharePort, the other one is Windows Connect Now. I do not want Windows Connect Now because that won't allow me to print. Now that I am sure that I have the right setting, make sure that the printer is powered. Once again, double-click the icon of the utility for your router that allows you to print through it. Make sure you are connected. There's usually a refresh button to make sure that you are there. If you're not connected, simply connect. That is it. So listeners, you have followed my diagnosis procedure for your printer from 1 to 10, and if you have a multifunction printer, from 1 to 11. If you don't know what it is, go to www.zedaxis.net. You can print it out for yourself and watch the video hosted by YouTube as you follow along to what I suggest that you do. And if you have gone through this on more than one computer, you have probably confirmed that maybe your printer is the issue at hand. There are two solutions to this problem. You can go the slow way, or you can go the other way. The slow way would be to call technical support. Ask for an RMA number. Send it to a requested address from them. Wait a few weeks for them to either repair or send you a new one. And meanwhile, having your homework, your business proposals, and your extracurricular activity flyers being backed up, saved in the computer with no printing out. Failing, getting fired, getting advertisements, a whole bunch of crazy bad stuff. Again, like I said, printers are a great sense of pain and suffering for people, as well as being a place of pride and joy. What is my second idea? Just buy a new one. They're cheap. Multifunction printers are under $100. Some printers are even under $50. They come with the ink and the software. All you need to do is buy a new one, install it, and get printing. You'll be fine after that. All your homework and business proposals and extracurricular activities will be fine after. Don't worry about it. Just make sure you don't put in crumpled paper into your printer and you should be fine. Don't panic when you hit the wrong button when you hit it printing. Just let it finish or hit cancel in the print job window that's on your screen. Avoid any of the Code 18 issues and you'll be fine. Next week, I'll be talking about debit and credit cards, why PIN and chip cards are a great waste of time, why we should change the way we use PIN numbers, why the chip cards are a waste of everybody's time, and why wireless cards, like the PayPass, are not at all your friend, they're your enemy. With all things that come with the ease of use, come the pain of fraud. So, if you want to learn how to protect yourself from all the stupidities that can happen to you, come back next week and listen to my show. It'll help you determine what kinds of services you really find useful and safe for yourself. Of course, we are here every Sunday before 8 a.m. every single week unless I tell you I'm not going to be there. So I have been your host, Steve Smith, aka Z-Axis, and yes, you may call me that. And this has been your Technology Questions Answered. Have a great day, and merry printing.